Hello, beloved YouTube family. Thank you for tuning in to yet another video. I appreciate you guys. This week, we have a challenge of the month. We're wrapping up August with the last video to challenge how high you can jump up on a box. I know this can sometimes be a little scary for many swimmers, so let's be safe, let's stay healthy, and let's challenge ourselves though. And I'm reminding you guys that we can win prizes, and this month I am upping the stakes because our interaction level here with these challenges have been a little so-and-so. It's a relatively new channel. You guys are shy, I'm a little shy, so what we're gonna be doing here, foam roll, mobility ball, and a optional band for you guys. A female and a male, boy and a girl. One of you guys will actually win all three of these if you guys are partaking in this and you guys are uploading your video, tagging Swimmer Strength, and also challenging another friend. Guys, my name is Stanisek Mati. I am your performance coach, sports scientist, and the founder of Swimmer Strength, who are bringing you guys these videos to keep you healthy, strong, and also a little bit more coordinated so we can actually swim stronger and be a little bit healthier in the water. And that is honestly my entire goal. If you're ready for this challenge, let's look at this. Let's warm up a little bit, and also let's look at some techniques on how we can actually jump a little bit higher. Let's go. All right, jumping challenge, up onto the box. So we're doing box jumps. Now, what we need to differentiate between here is explosive and plyometric. Both are not the same, even though plyometric is explosive work. Now, what we want to think about here is that plyometric is when we're using a counter movement jump, when we're actually swinging with our legs starting from a straight position and we're quickly dipping down and jumping up on the box. Each time we land on the box, we have to land as stable, as firmly planted with our whole foot on the box as much as possible, with our hips higher than our knees. That's plyometric. So anytime we are wanting to try out a new height on a box, a good approach is to actually take a step into the box and then jump. And you can use your arms as much as you want here to be comfortable. Explosiveness is thinking about like simulating going off of the blocks in swimming. Take your mark, we're holding that for about a second. So anything that we're holding for isometric and going from a standstill into a explosive movement is considered to be more explosive or dynamic. Doing that quickly can also be considered plyometric, but that is the main difference. So we're going to be doing 2 jumps at a lower box for a counter movement jump, and then 2 jumps for a explosive jump where you're holding it in your head. Take your mark and then explode up without using any counter movement going down. So straight, push down from the ground and just go straight up. You guys, let's challenge yourself here now. Pick a box that you're comfortable with. I'm using some harder boxes here. Typically the softer pads, plyo boxes, are a little bit more preferred because what can happen here is that we can actually hit our shins onto the box if we're missing the box. So be really careful when you're jumping onto a surface that you are not familiar with. Now, let's actually warm up though before we do all of this. Quickly, let's roll out our entire lower body. Let's start with the calves, and you guys know me, you need to contract, you need to relax, you need to move the feet around in different positions to get the ankle really loosened up and also push the ranges as you're doing this. If you're tender, if you're sore, spend a little extra time here, but don't get stuck. From here, let's move up onto the IT bands, a little bit of hamstrings, IT bands, and I like to roll through here. Find a good rhythm, go in towards the quads and hip flexors, and then flow through to the IT band again, and then all the way out to the glutes. And the more you guys are moving through here and contracting, you might save more time and actually get a lot more warm up done. The major here issue with the foam roll is that we tend to get slow and stuck before the workout. So let's make sure we're getting through this to really get warmed up and get the muscles ready to perform. Next, a little athletic warm-up. We're going to stay light on our toes, and every 10 seconds we're going to do a switch. And we're going to start with 2 high knees, and we're going to go into 2 other high knees with a skipping version. Now, this is just pure athleticism, pure coordination, and to have a little bit more fun. And we're going to do that high knees, 2 taps, and we're going to take a 5-second tap or 5-second break where we are just staying light on our feet. And we're doing the same thing for butt kicks. 2 taps for the butt kicks, 2 taps for the butt kicks on the left, and 2 taps on the right as we're staying as light on our feet as we possibly can with our posture upright without excessively bending our spine, and keeping the knees pointing down on the butt kicks and then coming up as high as we can on the knee hugs. What we're gonna do here next is actually skipping up and do 2 and 2 right in a row. That's what we're doing, and that's going to be a little bit more challenging for many swimmers. Again, we're just looking for rhythm. If you're unable to do this, do the best you can to follow me here. We're doing 2 on the right, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, 2 on the left, as rhythmic as you possibly can. And then we're going to switch and do the same thing for butt kicks. 2 on the left, 2 on the right, and then trying to engage hip flexors and abs when we're doing the knee hugs and bring the knees up, and also the hamstrings when we're actually kicking the glutes. From here, you guys know me, I love the interim sequence. We can just go right into a dynamic interim sequence to pick your favorites. We're not rotating too much in a thoracic rotation, but I am going into my favorite stretches and making sure that my legs are now getting dynamic, a little bit more warmed up. Before I stand up, I do like to get into a deep squat here to really push the range, push my feet and the ankle mobility a little bit more. If you're unable to get this deep, go as deep as you're comfortable. And then I love to finish by raising my hands up and standing up and doing some quad pulls, hamstring scoops to get dynamic stretches. And let's do one more round of the interim sequence before we really get ready to further mobilize before we actually get jumping. Last little mobility I want to do is 2 exercises. We're going to put a band around a rack, and then we're gonna put that high up on our hip, put a pad around to put the knee down, and then rock our hip back and forth. But the premise here is not only to open up the hip flexor, but also to engage the opposing glute. So we need to get the glutes firing a little bit together with the hamstrings. And if you are actually moving your body around, you will feel the hip capsule moving. And my right leg is much weaker, less engaged, so I feel more stuck in my right leg. So I'm moving around a little bit more, lifting my arm up to get my hip flexor further engaged, and even the obliques here in the core deeper as much as you can. And we're switching over to the other side, and my left side is not as bad, and I'm encouraging you guys to rock back and forth here about 10 to 15 times on each side. If you have a worse side, spend a little bit more time there. After that, we're going to go right into some ankle mobility. Here I'm just doing manual mobility, and the main thing is to keep pushing your heel down. I'm going to go in 3 different positions, going straight onto the foot, in towards my right toe and in towards my left toe, all while putting the whole foot on the ground as much as possible. So I do not want my foot to rock out to the side and get off of the ground as I'm doing this, but I really want to keep pushing my whole foot down as I'm rocking. Again, my right leg here and my ankle is where my issues typically start, so I spend a little bit more time on my right leg than my left leg. And now after this, we should all be ready to be jumping. Now that is a fun challenge. I hope you like that. And I am reminding you guys all again here, you can win a foam roll, a super band, and also a mobility ball. All three for one girl and for one boy. But you must upload yourself doing this challenge up into a box or somewhere safe onto a platform, remembering that we want our hips to land higher than our knees. The higher they land, the better. We definitely do not want them to be underneath the knees. That's a big no-no for you guys. Again, I hope you enjoyed this. Do the challenges and you can win some prizes. Like, share, subscribe, share with the world. I really appreciate you guys, and we're ready for the next week and September to hit around the corner. Take care. See you then.